afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our weekly Q&A. This week, I'm doing a twofer. I have an amazing survivor, and I have someone that is working in the cancer world. So I wanted to have a few minutes to talk to Sunshine Maracle, who is Hope Cancer Center of Nevada's physician liaison, but she's also planning a bunch of different interesting things in the community, and I wanted to talk to her about those. But first, wanted to say welcome, Sunshine. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you so much. How are you doing?
You know what? I'm fabulous. I'm fabulous because you're not driving in a car and me thinking you're going to get in an accident. So I love that we're doing this a little more face to face. Plus, my cat.
Yes.
I don't know if you can see her. Oh no, I have a cat right here in the corner. So, Sunshine, you and I just met on a Zoom call, and I knew immediately we were going to be long, fast friends, and because you have an amazing story, and I'm wondering if you would just give us a brief little history of your breast cancer journey.
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, I just wanted to tell everybody I had stage 4 breast cancer that had metastasized to my liver. I also had lung nodules, but the chemo took care of that. And how I went about it was about 4.5 years ago, on October, it's going to be 5 years. I had gone to, I was actually from my OB, referred to a surgeon, and the surgeon was like, oh, it's just you're breastfeeding and all of those things. But I mean, my left breast was hard. And we went through the home remedies and all of those things, and it was just not getting better. And he said he's not gonna give me an ultrasound or anything because I was on, I was still breastfeeding. So I had to wean my child off. And I went back and, I told him, look, it hurts. There's something going on in my left side. And he kind of rolled his eyes at me, and he's like, all right, we'll get you an ultrasound. So the ultrasound didn't come out well, because he gave me the next thing was the biopsy. And as he got his report, I actually went with my best friend prior to LMC and got the results, but I just didn't know like how severe it was. So he looked at it and he's like, from the 3 months that these were, your cancer grew 30%, and you need to see somebody. Yeah, it was a fast growing cancer. So,
and you're young. How old were you at the time?
I was 31, 32.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Young.
So I ended up basically going into and at that time, Hope was closed during Fridays. They closed it by 12, and the oncologist was like, come right in. And he spoke to me, and the practice manager spoke to me, and by the next week I got my surgery of getting that port from that surgeon, Dr. Patel. And then on that next week, on that Tuesday, I started my chemo.
So that fast. And actually, that also happened to be the same organization you currently work for, right?
Yes, Hope Cancer Care of Nevada. So prior to this, I was in a job that was almost 7 years long. I had worked with Advantage Solutions, and I was, in the Las Vegas territory, Utah, Arizona, and I had traveled a lot. So I guess I didn't think I had cancer because I was always tired. I mean, I had 2 kids. One was 2 that just turned 3, and I had so They were like, they're 2 years apart, 2.5 years
Oh,
apart. So I
that's a
mean,
handful in and of itself, isn't it?
yeah,
Yes.
so you're thinking as a new mom, that's what it is, because you have one that's teething, you have one that's like, oh my gosh, my place is gonna fall apart in 2 seconds, you know?
It's hard work. It's hard work, and you were traveling, and little did you know you were fighting cancer.
Yes.
Because stage 4 doesn't happen overnight.
No, it doesn't. What my primary physician had told me is, because hormones were something that my body doesn't like, that I would have eventually have gotten sick in my 40s. But whatever birth control I may have taken or whatever, because I was like, the only times I took birth control in my life was after Maddie, after my oldest, because I wanted to take my time and having her, and at least wait 2 years to have my other one.
Hmm. Hey, did you happen to have any history of breast cancer in your family?
Nope. I took the
See?
testing. I took the genetic testing, and nobody. My parents, none of
Wow.
them. And yeah.
So actually, interesting enough, one of the lessons that you have exemplified and that I like to keep repeating is doctors are not bad. I'm not doctor blaming. I'm not any of that. However, there's nobody that's going to advocate for you more than you. And
100%.
you actually were like, no, something is wrong and I want it taken care of. And that's, and it's not, I'm not blaming the doctor again. I want to focus on your ability to do what you needed to do for yourself. And it's so hard sometimes for people to do.
Yeah, you gotta fight it. If somebody is telling you you're not feeling that, you have to fight with what's in your heart, and really, because your body. And
Hmm.
right now mammograms are happening at your 30s. I would have never gotten a mammogram, never,
Hmm.
had had I listened to him. And so I'm very thankful that it kept hurting to the point where I'm like, no, this isn't right, and if you're
Hmm.
my last option of getting somewhere with this, you need to do something for me.
Right. Good for you. And that is a story that I want, if nothing else, that's what I want people to remember is you have every right and you should advocate for yourself. Absolutely.
100%.
So now, interesting enough, so you are a metastatic breast cancer patient,
I
but
am.
how are you feeling? Everything?
I've had operations in my life total, because of the port placements. I've had my reconstruction, and again, you're going to the surgeon not for a breast job, a boob job. You're going in there because your life changed and you had breast cancer.
Yeah.
So I went in, and it was something that needed to be done. And operations later, I'm still getting in to my PET scans, my CAT scans, 3 months, just because they're still monitoring because of just how fast it went.
Yeah. But I'm glad here what just meeting you once. Well, this is my second or technically third. We will count the one in the car.
Yes.
You have such a great attitude. Is that something you have to work on, or did that just come to you naturally?
That is the number one thing I think you have to fight with cancer, because your life isn't guaranteed.
Yeah.
And especially with cancer, you kind of really, really realize that it can come back anytime, or that, it's just so precious that, why have a bad day if this is going to be your last? And so forever I'm going to look at my life as, what, if I had one day to live and to raise my 2 kids, I'm going to make them really just enjoy it. And
Mhm.
attitude is everything. If you're going to tell your body it's sick, you know what? It's going to believe you. But if you tell your body you can work 40 hours a week, have 2 kids, and never stop, plus have a side gig of doing like cricket little, I go from doing the shirts, I go from doing the
Oh,
Starbucks cups.
yeah.
Yeah. So you have to want to live,
Yeah.
and you have to have that spirit. Why waste your life if you already know you're going to die in the first place,
Yeah.
so you have to make every single day really well.
It's last week or a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I talked to another metastatic breast cancer patient who also is an amazing human being. And that was her exact philosophy. Was she was like, if this were my last day, is this what I want to be doing? No, I want to be
Exactly.
hanging out with my kids. And I was like, oh my God, what a great thought process for all of us every day anyway. And I noticed that in you. One of the things I also noticed was you love your job.
I
Or
do.
you seem to love your job. Uh, and I was so fascinated by that because you're really dedicated. So I had never heard of Hope Cancer Care of Nevada, which is kind of funny considering the work that I do. So tell us what Hope Cancer Care of Nevada is.
So Hope Cancer Care of Nevada, what is just so absolutely amazing with them is from the very beginning, and what sold me to leaving my job of 6 to almost 7 years
Mm-hmm.
is, I could represent a doctor and a staff that's just astounding to me from the very beginning of your intake, with Jen, to the very end. What's funny about it is I've talked to many cancer patients, not just in my clinic, but survivors like me. And I'm like, how do you like your chemo room? And
Hmm.
because I want to just get their aspect from them. And they're like, well, it's kind of drabby and it's kind of like I don't look forward to it. But never once did I feel that going to Hope. And in fact, I felt the opposite. Yes, I knew I was getting chemo, but at the same time, I'm like, yes, today I get to see Caprice, today I get to see Jen, and all of the staff that was just here, Brandy. The financial advisors used to come and walk the chemo room and say, hey, how are you? You know what? Maybe you should look into this. And she actually was one of the reasons how I, got one of my drugs to pay for my cancer treatment.
Right.
And it's important. And Caprice was with me and my husband when I found out that I had cancer. And I just saw my husband, like, his whole world shattered in front of
Right.
my eyes. And so to have that impact and to just see a place resonate within me, and doctors' offices don't do that. Usually
Right.
you're like, S word, I've been in here for the last 2 hours. What the heck? Or if
Yeah.
you ask them, I'm so sorry, I was here 45 minutes early, and you're not trying to get recognized that you were there 45 minutes early, but is it okay if what time would the doctor be here? They're running a little late. So like 2 hours later, and I know everybody has had their stories with that, but the thing is even on the days that I'd had to wait 30 minutes because they're running late, I never once had somebody be like, oh, okay, well, they're running late, so you're just gonna have to sit down.
Right.
Yeah.
And you guys handle all types of cancer, correct?
Yes.
And is it like a full comprehensive program in the sense that are you able to diagnose cancer and take them through the whole process, or do they come to you after diagnosis?
They usually, it depends. It can come from a primary care. It can come from a general surgeon. It can come from radiation. So any referral base, if any of the patients, or if you're a patient and you want to try Hope Cancer Care of Nevada out, just ask your primary care physician to give you a referral, and usually within 2 to 3 business days, we try to get cancer patients in. Like, you are priority, you're not just a number, kind
Right.
of thing. So that's a very fast intake, because I'll tell you, in different cancer areas, they're gonna be flat out and honest with you. We can't take you for 2 to 3 weeks.
Right.
And we don't do radiation, but we do medical, and we also do hematology, everything but diabetes.
Okay. You know what's interesting is actually you just said something that made me think again about advocating for yourself. And that is, if you're not happy with your physician and your cancer care, it's okay to say, what else or who else is out there, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like, who will take care of me? Who can? And it's not, again, not blaming or shaming, just in general. It's even like relationships, right? I'm not going to end up being in love with every person I meet, but
Absolutely.
I do love you.
Oh, you're so sweet.
You know what?
Likewise.
I love meeting. I don't love meeting women that are dealing with metastatic breast cancer. I want it to be no metastatic breast cancer for you, but you are just, you're interesting. You're genuine. I love how much you love what you do as much as I love what I do. I love finding that. I'm trying to get myself out of a job, right? Because I would love to end breast cancer forever. I would love to move to a different cancer and then end that one forever. Just keep going down the line. But in the meantime, just meeting wonderful people. And in this city, which is interesting, how the reputation of the people that live in this city isn't always fantastic. And yet all I ever meet is fantastic people. And I just wanted the rest of my constituents and everybody out there to know what amazing people we have here.
Absolutely.
And organizations. So we have an organization, a company, I'm going to call it a company, that there's more to treating cancer than just the limited wedge of let's get them in, let's get drugs in them, and let's get them out. You said you have financial planners. You have
We have
people navigate that.
we have our financial advisors, and we
Advisor.
also, yes, and then if say you're in okay, so one of the things that I was really impressed about with this clinic was when I transitioned into a job and my insurance cut off, they called because I was under this medicine called Narrowlinks, okay? And it's an expensive one. The insurance pays $2,000 of it per month, and you pay 200 if you qualify, okay?
Wow.
So that hurts your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't have insurance for 3 months, and they called Puma Links for me, and Puma Links decided to pay 100% of the costs.
Wow.
And it went straight to my house. So they are partnered with Aon Oncology's pharmacy, that we have so much more programs to offer.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that makes this job any different from me, and I tell a lot of people this isn't just a job for me, this was my life.
Mm-hmm.
This was my life at stake. And so for everybody that could just go to a job, this is my kind of like my forever thing. With how many times can you say I got to go to the chemo room and just ask the patients how they are,
Mm-hmm.
and just sit with them?
Mm-hmm.
You can't, those experiences are priceless, to just be with those people, because it's not a cancer patient. You have to understand, they're not looking for pity.
Right.
What we're looking for sometimes is just when things just gets hard, we just want to talk.
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
and it takes that human component of life, and it brings you together. And what's different is, I can tell you, if I had missed because I'm out in the field for work, if I come in, I will know at least 2 to 3 people in the chemo room, because of how sustained my relationship has been with the custom patients, the employees, and everything are.
Right. I think though a part of that is a testament to who you are as well, right? and you fit well with Hope Cancer Center care. So I think that they do a great job of finding the right people to work with them too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So do you want to briefly tell us about A Night with Hope?
Absolutely. So we are having an event on March 24th from 5 to 6, and it is just with Amazon Logistics with Susan G. Komen, and you get to be a part of it. But there is an abundance of information that, is going to be there. The practice manager is so just, you get to kind of see the insight of what the office goes through as an office staff with the cancer survivors. And every single month we'll have different doctors ranging from Dr. Mehdi, Dr. Palmer, Bethany Baird, and different doctors that are just going to go into the offices. But for the people who had, chemo fog is a thing, a brain fog while you're going through chemo, where you have the doctor in front of you and you're like, nope, I think I asked all the questions. You didn't. When you get out, you're like, holy moly, I have a million questions. But what's so great about A Night with Hope is that you get that opportunity along with the new patients and old patients to just sit there, get educated, but more than anything, connect with the people that are going through the same struggles that you are in your cancer world, in your cancer fight.
And you can ask questions, right?
Absolutely.
And the other thing is you are doing these at this moment, they're planned monthly, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then the next one, the 24th, we'll put that in our event newsletter, and we'll put it on our website. And yes, I will be there. So now we need RSVP because we're social distancing, right?
Yes. We need RSVPs just so we know who is coming, how many bags we can prepare for all the cancer patients, because we have quite a few goodies for everybody that's coming, and we just want to meet you. So please RSVP, and I'm even willing to give my work number, which is 702-355-3175. I'll also have this information up, and you can also contact me anytime at sunshine.maracle@aoncology.com.
Love it. And we will also put that in our comments so people can connect. And that information is on the post that you sent me that I will put in our newsletter. So if somebody would like to come, it doesn't have to be this month, but definitely be looking for opportunities, especially if you have questions. I'm a firm believer in asking questions. As you can see,
yes,
right now. So I love
100%. And if you have a loved one or anything that we can help out and serve with, please let me know. I'm a phone call away. Again, that phone number, unless I'm doing something with the doctors, it's usually always open, and I will answer you.
And another crazy thing is you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, but don't call you at 4 o'clock in the morning. But she keeps saying I get up at 4 o'clock. I'm like, I'm not going to call you at 4 o'clock. I'm like, no, thank you. I just actually altered my getting up time to 30 minutes later than I have been. And I'm happy about that. So,
well, the good news to that is it's going to be spring forward.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it kind of goes with that. Oh no, I'm gonna be up at 3 a.m. This is the part I hate.
Oh yeah,
that adjustment. Crazy.
So what do you do from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m.?
Florida Cancer Specialist is up that early, and I just like to be up with my peers and make sure that I usually have a long day in preparation to just making sure, I set myself up, because I don't want to just be half ready when I'm talking to people. And I want to make sure when I'm talking to you, that I actually researched what you were talking about and just found out your information, because how am I going to get to know you unless I read about you or spend my time actually asking you how you are as a person and caring about it?
Right. This is why I find you interesting and amazing. I'm like, I get excited. You know what's great about it is you're going to make me a better person. And
Oh, likewise.
that's what you can, I mean, that's what you get to go through life hoping, right? Like, I want to learn and become better every day. That's what I want.
Yes.
So I'm so excited that we found you and our intern found you, our intern Lily, who Lily
I hope
is,
to see Lily. I hope
yeah,
to see Lily and meet her in person as well.
she's your typical intern where she's very quiet. Like she does not say very much until she's ready to, and then what she says is fabulous. So I really appreciate that about Lily. I'm really glad she found you. And she like called me and like, this woman would really like to connect. And I'm like, yeah, okay, let's make that happen. And now I'm so glad I did. One, I was glad to meet you. Two, I'm glad to learn about Hope Cancer Care of Nevada. It's so interesting how there's so many things that we don't know as an organization, and yet I really want to make it an effort to figure out what's available in our communities here in Nevada for cancer patients. So
Absolutely.
thanks for reaching out. I so appreciate it. Again, I will put all of the information in our comments on our social media, and then I'm going to put the 24th in our event newsletter, which goes out today if I can get my act together. So that will be in there. So hopefully some people will give you a call and want to come.
Absolutely. It was so wonderful to see you, beautiful friend.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. And we will be talking to you soon.